This is David Chang, co-chair of the ASCRS Foundation, and it is my privilege to introduce Dr. Lowell Gess, the winner of our 2020 Humanitarian Award. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we're not able to present the award to Dr. Gess live at our annual meeting. But I did conduct a Zoom interview with him around the time of our virtual annual meeting, and you'll see highlights in a moment, which includes comments from his son and his granddaughter, who are also ophthalmologists. Because most practicing ophthalmologists don't know him or know of his career, let me first introduce him with 5 amazing facts about his career. First, he started as a missionary in Sierra Leone practicing general surgery, but he encountered so much cataract blindness that he tried unsuccessfully to recruit an ophthalmologist to join him. One of them, however, sent him a set of eye surgical instruments and a manual on doing surgery, and so he taught himself to do cataract surgery out of necessity. The second fact is that he was one of the first in the US to implant IOLs, and he was actually a member of ASCRS in just its second year and continued to be a member till his retirement. I guess if you're courageous enough to teach yourself cataract surgery from a book, then implanting one of the first IOLs isn't as intimidating as it would be for everyone else. The third fact is that he established an eye hospital in Sierra Leone and raised the money for this by writing to every member of AAO and asking them to donate the proceeds of just one cataract operation to this cause. And that eye hospital has expanded and exists today serving that region. He was in private practice in Minnesota for 3 decades, but every year he would take 3 months off and pack up and move his family back to Sierra Leone, where he practiced at that eye hospital and served the eye care needs of that area. Now, after retiring, he still went back to Sierra Leone about 6 years ago at the height of the Ebola outbreak. He just felt he needed to help out, and he wasn't afraid of risking his life because at the age of 93, he figured he was in a better position to do this than most physicians. He waited until he was at the airport about to leave before calling his family to tell them where he was going so they wouldn't be able to stop him. And he's gone back 2 additional times, the most recently being exactly a year ago, to provide eye care to these Ebola survivors. So I know you'll agree that this is one incredible ophthalmologist, and we delayed timing this announcement till July, when he will be celebrating his 99th birthday. So Dr. Gess, on behalf of ASCRS and the foundation and all of our members, we would like to congratulate you on being the 2020 Humanitarian Award winner. We want to wish you a happy 99th birthday. And most of all, we want to thank you for your lifetime of compassion and humanitarian service, which serves as a source of inspiration and pride for all of ophthalmology.
I knew that he played such a major role in international work, but it wasn't until a little older that I discovered how cool he was.
And he's got everything from mumps in his internship to malaria over in Africa. He has survived a serious case of infectious hepatitis, and here he is, still 98 plus, going strong and enjoying life.
The one thing that people may not know is that he received a call at the age of 11 to be a medical missionary, but he didn't tell anyone. They were commissioned to Rotafunk, and that's where he really fell in love with Sierra Leone. And so as he was treating these general surgery patients, he discovered blindness from cataracts.
Minnesota has only 5 million people. And they have 700 ophthalmologists. Sierra Leone with 7 million people didn't have any. We had pig eyes and cow eyes, and we followed the directions of the book, and it seemed to work. But I was afraid that if we tried to do eye surgery and it failed, that would be the end of things. So we scheduled 3. Timney prayed before the operation. That's all we needed, because all 3 of the cases turned out well. They saw fine. I liked it. I liked eye surgery. The patients didn't die on you like they do sometimes in general surgery. My elderly parents were only 50 miles from Minneapolis. We settled on Minnesota, and then Sierra Leone had their first trained ophthalmologist since time began. I always attended AO and ASCRS every year. And even when in Africa, I had a friend, an ophthalmologist, who sent me a ticket so I could get back to what was happening new. A man came in and sat a seat away from me, and he was friendly, and we began to talk, and he said, "Are you interested in this topic of IOLs?" I said, "Yes." Well, he said, "My name is Peter Troyce, and I worked with Harold Ridley when he put in the first lens in 1949. And now," he says, "I'm doing a lot of that." He said, "If you're interested, and since you're a medical missionary and have to go through London, why don't you come? You can stay at my house and we'll do some surgery together." And learned how to do intraocular lenses, the anterior chamber type. And one time he sent me, I had in my pocket when I came back, 15 anterior chamber lenses. Well, we found patients for them, and they really did well. 2 years later, same thing, sitting in a chair, being there early. Another man came, sat down, by the name of John Pierce. Now, some of you know, John Pierce led us back into the posterior chamber. Again, an invitation. So I stayed in his home, and again, then I went back and put in posterior chamber lenses. And this started in 1980.
Being the oldest of 6 children, we did have an unusual upbringing. Instead of being warned to watch out for the cars when you cross the street, we were warned to watch out for the snakes. There was no entertainment except what we would devise ourselves as kids. School was part of our education as well. But to go into my residency, actually under Dad's tutorship of knowing how to do applanation tonometry, how to do indirect ophthalmoscopy, how to do cataract surgery.
After retiring officially as a commissioned missionary, I just went back for 3 months of the year. And I did that work in different places, but primarily in the capital, in Freetown. It got to be large so that the church decided that they had to have an eye hospital. And so we built the hospital, and it took, see, Ruth and I hadn't intended to build a hospital. We were just doing the surgery until the government or some other organization would take over. Nobody did. And so we kept on going. And now today, that hospital has the interest of Emory University for our vitreoretinal program. I was able to see Ebola patients firsthand. and was able to determine that their uveitis pointed towards something, even when they were free of viruses in their blood. Something was going on in their eye. And so I established a protocol to give to WHO and Doctors Without Borders on how to handle uveitis. I didn't tell my family when I bought the ticket. I was afraid that they might think I had gone around the bend. But I knew the country, I knew the facilities. I was a physician. I learned how to live all that time in isolation. I utilized everything that was needful. It was an experience that was needed, and while it involved a lot of adrenaline, I enjoyed it. They got involved in a civil war that became very vicious. I would be the only one who would slip in and do a lot of surgery in a short time. But ultimately, the embassy would learn that I was there and they would shoo me out. I would like to be remembered as someone who trained well and developed skills so that the best could be offered. Because unless you're the best and offer the best, they won't believe what you say. I just did what was my calling as a medical missionary. I just followed the leading of the Holy Spirit. And with my background, I love people. And I have a little saying that is a favorite of mine, that we face a humanity that is too precious to neglect.